Hello, old Silly Stick fans. We are back to Goomba's Greedy Gala. This is... what even is this? I think this is part 10 of the entire series. Doesn't really matter. You're not... if this is the first episode you ever watch, you're not really missing out on anything, in my opinion. I just got minied. We'll see how that goes. At least maybe I can get an item, which could be fun, but at this point, I'm just trying to get to the star. But Daisy, mayhaps, will take it from me, or not. Now she's going to the other side of the board, so fortunately I don't have to worry about Daisy as my competition, though I think I still have to worry about Waluigi. And isn't it interesting, by the way, that capitalism, the ideology of capitalism says that it's competitiveness, competition, which makes things better, but ironically, capitalism incentivizes the winners or the well-off to eliminate competition. Of course, the robber barons of the Gilded Age are a quintessential example, but you can look even now at the sort of general monopolizing of companies, Disney and Apple and Amazon and all these other companies trying to buy all the other smaller companies. Because they don't want competition, they want monopolies. That's what a firm does. I mean, it's not just the socialist Marxist belief. I mean, ask your American economics professor, right, libertarian. I mean, they'll tell you that. Oh, well, I did my best. At least I'm teeny, which is kind of funny. Yeah, that's what a firm does. They want to maximize profits at the expense of anything else, whether that be societal well-being or environmental sustainability. It sounds like I'm critiquing capitalism. I kind of am. Though, to be fair, I don't think we should assume all markets are bad. I'm willing to allow that some things might be better when left to the markets, but I also don't think we should just assume everything is better when marketized. Some things I do not think should be... come on. Okay, good. Should be left to the market. So I'm probably... I might be considered kind of left-leaning socialist in America, though, to be honest, I'm not really sure how socialist I really am. It kind of depends on my mood. But it's not always as obvious. I mean, sometimes these words like capitalism, socialism kind of obscure the bigger problems, what we're even talking about, you know. Really, I think one of the more concrete things I would advocate for is workplace democracy, if you want to count that as socialism. I'm in favor of. I think there's evidence to show, and not that I can recite it all now, but you can look up workplace democracy if you're interested in the concept. There's a book by Elizabeth Anderson about it. I don't remember what it's... oh, Private Government, I think, is what it is. But corporations, companies have a lot of power, which we don't really acknowledge, but we should. Now, what do I want to buy? Actually, where even is Waluigi? Oh, never mind. I know what I want to buy. If the magic lamp is there, I'll take it. But let me, well, I'll look at next turn. I admit, sometimes when I'm talking, I don't always pay attention to the game. Oh well. It is time for a Tostito break. And by the way, I'm not sponsored, and actually I'm not a big fan of chips because I don't think there's a lot of substance to them. But I got them for free. So if you get chips for free, what do I have to press? Oh, there you go. It's not necessarily a bad idea to get them. Now, of course, the economists will tell you that nothing is technically free. There's no free lunch because, say, in order to go to the free lunch, you have to go to it, so you have to drive, and that costs gas and time. But in my case, it was pretty much free. I was already in the student union. I just had to walk up and briefly talk to somebody who told me to join student dining services, and I said no. But it was okay because they gave me my chips anyways. But on this note, it is worth saying, a few episodes ago I was critical of Biden, as many are, but it is worth saying there is one area at least where Biden has been doing comparatively well, and I think that's in unions. He has cared about unions and strikes and workers' rights pretty well. I mean, significantly more than other presidents anyways in recent years. For example, if any of you know about the Kellogg's strike that happened a few weeks ago, and if you don't, you should look into it. Reddit anti-work. But anyways, yeah, so workers were striking at Kellogg's because they were not being given enough to live on. I think they're working 7 days a week. I mean, most of them are, living out of their cars and can't pay rent and that sort of thing. And so they went on strike, and the company, as companies will do, tried to hire scabs, basically temporary workers. But Biden did issue a nice letter saying, don't do that. Now, I'm not sure whether anything went beyond the letter, but it was at least good to see that he cared. And I think he has made some effort to try and make unions more accessible, because unions have been growing in popularity. They've been declining in popularity since the 80s, thanks to that nasty Ronald Reagan. He was notable for being anti-union, most memorably when he told the striking air traffic controllers that if they didn't come to work, they wouldn't have a job. And since then, America has been rather behind in providing and upholding workers' rights. Now, with that said, not the sort of person who thinks America is the worst country in the world. Sometimes, it's one thing that bothers me a little bit in these kind of pessimistic left-wing circles, is they act as, oh, America is hell, it's the worst place to be born. Look, America has a lot of problems. I mean, a lot of problems, but I don't think it's the worst country. Now, importantly, it's not the best country. Hold on. Okay. Notably, if you look at freedom indexes, which I like looking at, especially because the core American value is often thought to be freedom, and so it's worth judging America by its own standard. America's decent. It's okay. Overall, when looking at things globally. Oh, she's gonna steal my star, isn't she? Oh well. Anyways, but notably, it is behind a lot of other developed countries, the kinds that leftists like bringing up, the Nordic countries, some of the Western European, I think France, Switzerland, Germany, that sort of thing. Oh well. But the pandemic has been interesting. I think one the thing of note is that the term essential workers, when in March 2020 things had to shut down and we stopped working, and I think people have realized the value of their labor in a way which was obscured previously. Now, what becomes of that, we'll have to see. But I think the Great Resignation, which you've been seeing, which I'm very proud of, is a product of that, realizing, wait a minute, the people that have been working are the ones keeping this country afloat. It's not the financiers, the middle management. They don't do anything. It's the workers that feed people and keep the plumbing working and building the new buildings. Keeping people alive in the case of nurses, educating our children, for teachers, and so on. I mean, these kinds of... these are the people, right, that we need. These are the jobs that need to get done. I'm definitely also in favor of, let's say, 4-hour work week. Doesn't have to be 4 hours, but definitely a shortened... Or no, not a 4-hour work day. Excuse me, 4-hour work week. Sorry, I can't support that. That's maybe an accidental door in the face tactic. I'm not saying that, but it's been shown that a 4-hour work day is not only does it not decrease productivity, but it actually increased productivity in the offices where it was tested, which I think is a good sign that that's what we should do. Now, unfortunately, I think the wealthy are going to be against it because they don't want people to have free time. The owners of this country, as George Carlin would call them, want us to be exhausted from work so we don't have the time to organize and become educated and tell them to fuck off, basically. But oh well. There's something going on. We'll see. I mean, Biden is Biden. But ever since 2008 financial crisis, I think there has been a growing left in America, especially we saw in 2016 with the Bernie Sanders campaign. So there's some interest in the left that's been growing. The important thing is just to keep at it. I think that's the hardest thing, is to care about social problems even when people aren't talking about them. A lot of times the news cycle hops so fast from one thing to another, whether that's, some people, some race, whatever, say black people or Asian people getting shot up, and so, okay, when the black people get killed, we have to care about them, and then maybe later environmental forum will come out, whatever, and so now we have to care about the environment, and then some other thing will happen, we have to care about that. But it's hard to not get lost in the perpetual cycle and to stop and say, wait, I need to focus on something. I don't want to get distracted by everything. I'll maybe expand more on that in the next episode. I gotta end here. Bye.